start off bang up to date with this lovely piece of knitwear.
That is, I mean, a new favourite jumper. That jumper was from a little shop in Penzance called Tom O'Shanter's.
Okay.
It's an amazing shop, and it's this like really old guy, and he knits them all himself.
Sick,
and they're about 30-40 quid. But it's like, it's sort of tucked away in Penzance, so it's not on the main high street. But I was there in the summer, and I was hanging outside, and I was like, I've got to get that.
Mad, man.
It's a beautiful shade of green. Shall I show it? I mean, it'll come.
We'll pop it up on the screen.
But yeah.
Stunning, man. Like, and £40, like, what's his hourly rate there? Because that's a serious amount of knit in that.
I really don't know. But it was just, and they did like merino jumpers and like proper like
Roll neck fishing.
roll necks, yeah.
Well, that's got a maritime like cut to it, that one, hasn't it?
Completely. It's like chainmail. It's like real cable knit wool, but I just love a jumper like that.
It's gorgeous, man. It's got the like raglan sleeve, up from the neck kind of thing, beautifully weighted around you.
Although I was wearing it the other day, and I live in a little cottage, but I'd sort of got caught on the side of a door, and it just unravelled loads of the arm. It's just like, I've got to go back to Penzance to get another one.
Have you not got any needle skills yourself?
I don't actually. I need to. I really do. I could see the satisfaction of repairing clothes. But yeah, this was in Wiltshire, in a wheat field, when I was making a crop circle, which was one of the episodes in my new show.
Yeah, you've got the plank under your arm and a mischievous glint in your eye.
Yeah.
Were you tempted to do anything rude, crop circle wise?
I mean,
cock and balls.
I think the producer thought I was going to do something like that, and was quite surprised when. I mean, I thought what we did. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
I thought it was quite good. It took us a long time to get it right. We were sort of like, it's quite complicated. But I totally get why people do it. It was it was a beautiful evening as the sun was going down. And it was just like, you genuinely feel like you're plugged in to the earth, like reconnected to your environment. And that's why it was just such a, your mind's occupied. It was such a nice thing to do.
Yeah, for those people who haven't seen it, BBC Three, Myth Country, it is sick. I was telling Charlie before, I binge watched it all on one night. But that particular episode's beautiful, man. And I think the clothes that you wear are perfect for the stories that you're telling, the kind of folky, earthy.
Yeah, it was a difficult, because obviously I'm not used to doing something where it's just about, when I'm being myself.
Yeah.
So it's like, I've had very much a tendency to overthink my clothes in a lot of situations. But I was watching a lot of Michael Palin travel series. You ever seen that?
I have, man, yeah.
I love what he wears in that. It's always really simple, like classic, like shirts and chinos. And I just thought it's just important, whatever I wore in this, just to be simple and sort of and not take away from what the show is. It's got to be folky, ultimately.
Yeah, man, yeah. What's the TOG rating on that jumper? Is it like you're immediately too hot if you do anything physical, or is it?
It was quite a cold evening, even though it was it was late summer. But I'm like an old woman. I need layers. I've got the body of an old woman.
Beautiful lighting as well on that. Like it's kind of side lit, cinematic. Yeah. It's gorgeous, man.
We're so blessed. I mean, it's a real chance to see the best of the British landscape, which is really important for us making the show. We wanted it to be as beautiful as it can be, whilst having this sort of folky content. And it's really like, I've got my old AA camper van in it, so it's a real ramshackly feel, but it sort of suits the subject matter.
Yeah, man.
So you sort of go on this sort of weird odyssey with me, but we wanted the viewer to feel like you were there and part of it. So it's very unconventional in terms of I'm not talking to the down the barrel of a lens, or there's not a lot of voiceover. So we wanted to do something that was a bit more engaging and just felt a bit different. And then definitely in the style of Gone Fishing and those sort of documentaries
which you've been dovetailed with in the BBC Three scheduling, apparently.
I know, oh my God, I love that. Yeah.
Hallowed ground.
Yeah, it really is. It's sort of, I think, hopefully, it's that sort of audience. But we wanted it to be a gentle, slow-paced thing that was a bit more of a comfort watch than...
Class, man. All right, so this one is a bit of a throwback to tell us where you're at and what you're rocking in this one.
Wow. So I'm in I think that was like the woods in Essex somewhere, but I'm rocking some sort of sequiny cowboy shirt.
Western inflected.
Yeah, with some unbelievably tight black jeans and a haircut that I can only describe as sort of flock of seagulls.
Yeah, man. It's peak Tony and Guy, like experimental age, I think that hair.
Yeah, I mean, there's something, because my hair gets properly bleached in the summer by the sun. So when it's like styled like that, you get the sort of darker undertones, which is quite nice, but then people think I've dyed my hair, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah, it's hot, man. Black and white, you fucking smolder in there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
really hot. Like, and I think if you wanted to describe what you were wearing in more specific detail, if you zoom into the bottom right hand corner, we've got the In magazine breakdown of the bougie brands that you're in.
So is that Paul Smith? It's in German.
Okay.
Saint Laurent and Paul Smith, basically.
Gosh, mate.
Tom Ford boots, I think. But yeah, you have to work out the rest. But
so this shot is from a time when Charlie was modelling in his kind of early to mid 20s, and I don't know. We'll talk a little bit more about the clothes. We've got a little fly joining us here.
Oh, hello.
It's a stunning look, man. Like,
yeah,
and you're smashing it.
I wore a lot of interesting clothes, and it did have a big impact on me. You know, in terms of like confidence in wearing clothes, it was massive.
Yeah, the kind of impetus to experiment a little bit.
Yeah, totally. And to be like, I mean, all sort of male model, you're just a clothes hanger essentially. But it was suddenly it sort of takes the anxiety and self-consciousness of wearing clothes away, because it was like, oh, someone thinks I look cool in.
Yeah, a cool
whatever.
person thinks I look cool, not just.
Yeah, so that was, you know, great ego boost. But yeah, and I was only modelling for a few years, but really enjoyed the time. I, met some great people doing it, and it was great fun.
Is there any particular outfit that you look back on from that time that you were photographed in and thought, fucking hell, I look great there? Like,
we did. I mean, I did some of like the fashion week, so doing the runways.
Yeah.
Which was always insane, and like being backstage, and you'd have a couple of costume changes, and it was like always like totally insane, like mad. But I think I did a couple of like Tiger of Sweden. Just like amazing suits, and you're like, when you're wearing something that's worth a lot of money. Oh, yeah, it was
the way
brilliant.
it slips onto an arm or something.
Yeah, and it was just perfect fit. This is not like going down to Burton's.
Yeah.
Or H&M. This is like proper stuff.
Yeah, they're not going to send you down the runway in something that's not perfect for your body as well, are they?
No, but never got to keep anything. That was the only downside.
People always expect you to have kept your entire wardrobe from modelling. I've started doing a bit in the last couple of years. And the first question everyone asks, do you get to keep the clothes? Like, no, not a thing. Like, maybe a pair of socks that they don't want to wash after.
Or like thermals that they don't really want to take back.
The Western aesthetic is something that I've seen creeping in more and more nowadays.
Do you think?
Yeah, man, massively.
Yeah.
Bootcut jeans are on the way back in, and like that kind of cowboyish shirt. Ahead of the time there.
But when when it's practical and stylish, it will just never go away, surely. Because it's just like, it makes sense. On the rodeo, on the high street.
Have you ever had tasseled jackets?
Oh, do you know what? That's reminded me. As a kid, I remember I fell in love. I must have been really young, like 5 or 6, and falling in love with this sort of like brown suede. It must have been suede jacket it's proper like cowboy with the tassels, and it was in Debenhams. My gran worked at Debenhams and managed to get it. Was really expensive, but I remember when she bought it for me, and I was like, wow, that was like my first memory of like totally falling in love with
something that you lusted after and then got.
Seeing in the shop, and then it's that classic thing of you go home and think about it for a long time, which I do now, and then you come back and it's like it makes you want it more, doesn't it?
Yeah, man, for real. That's a very formative experience. And do you think that lust for that particular jacket was caused by childhood cowboy obsession?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
I was asking another guest on this who makes the tasseled jackets about it, and I was asking if it's to emulate the movement of a horse's tail, because it's a rodeo inflected thing.
Yeah.
It kind of dangles like horse bits.
Oh yeah.
What's
it for then?
And well, I was asking her, she didn't really know, so I went and did a bit more research, and there's a few conflicting theories. Like, I thought it might be to get flies away from you.
That's a great idea.
But I think the most convincing one was just the way that it moves when you're dancing. It's like it's just an adornment kind of thing, which is pretty cool. You know, the rodeo thing is swishy and flicky and sexy.
It can give you a bit of attitude. But again, it was like that feeling of wearing something and feeling like a different person.
Yeah,
such a powerful thing. I've had that a lot in my life.
Yeah, man. Still holds true today when you feel like taking a new character on for a bit.
Totally. It can totally change your mood and just, your outlook. And that's what clothes can do, I suppose.
I won't flick over on the iPad, but I've had a technical issue, so I'm going to show you the tiny picture at the top of this one, man.
With
so this
Parky.
A little bit of a throwback. Yeah, where are you at there and what you're rocking and who you with?
That was in Waterstones in Bath.
It was.
When I first met you.
Yeah.
And first met Craig Parkinson on the Two Shot podcast.
Shout out,
which
Craig.
is brilliant. Yeah. What a legend. And then I'm wearing a shirt, open shirt, and there's just like a navy t-shirt, I think. But this was my favourite hat and I lost it. It's an orange Farlows hat, which is like a angling hat.
Okay.
And like there's a great fishing shop in London, like in Mayfair, really expensive. They do a lot of like fly fishing gear, which is not really my thing, but yeah, I remember buying the hat years ago, and it was so weathered because it's, you know, I'd wear it on the bank, so it'd be faded by the sun, and I don't know what happened to it. Tragic.
Man, so sad. The very reason I picked this particular picture out is because when I first met Charlie, this hat, it was kind of before the days where people were wearing these weathered hats. It's a piece you see around everyone around my end's got a weathered navy hat, but this is 7 years ago, and I just remember seeing that and seeing how perfectly it fitted your head and how perfectly the brim like mirrored the kind of curves of your face, and how perfectly patinaed and weathered and at home it looked on your head. And I was just like, you could tell that it was something that you'd loved deeply, and to hear you say that it was important to you then kind of,
that's nice.
Feel affirmed that I thought that.
Yeah, I'm a big cap guy because it's like I get so annoyed with my hair and having to style it or whatever or put any sort of product in it, so it's just so easy whacking a cap on.
Do you, once you've worn a hat, is your hair then fucked until it's next wash day? All right.
Time.
What, like kind of flat?
Really flat. It just looks really bad. I wish I had the confidence to wear like a fedora or something. I don't think it would ever happen. But back in the time when everyone wore like a bowler hat, by Mr. Ben, bring them back.
I think that time will come around again, man.
Surely.
So is there a cap in the wardrobes that's stepped into is it Farley, the brand?
Farlows.
Farlow.
I've got loads of different ones. There's a brand called Fera, which I love.
Yeah, shout out Fera there, mate. Have you done a bit of work with them, maybe?
They've sent me stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's such great stuff. But the caps, particularly, are just so well made. And because I'm very particular about a cap. They're quite sort of thick material. Just again, it's that feel when it's on your head. It's just perfect.
Do you have to work on the curve manually, or do you know when a cap's got a perfect curve for your head?
Yeah, you have to work on it a little. But something like the Fera caps, they come as they're meant to be as they are, and that's great. Some you do have to work a little bit. I've got a new cap, and do you know Sin Eater? It's like a folklore-based sort of. He's an artist, but he's amazing sort of illustrations. But does lots of t-shirts, hoodies, and caps. And he's brought out one that's sort of corduroy brown cap, but with green luminous writing on the front. Says peasant. Absolutely brilliant and fits me perfectly because I'm a peasant. So yeah, shout out to Cindy.
Class, man. Nice. Moment for the shirt. Like, it seems a bit French work-weary, the Captain Navy, and you came in this morning 7 years down the line with a well-worn, weathered French work shirt.
Well, actually, because Craig Parkinson,
he's the work shirt
rocked
master.
the work.
Really?
He was the one who inspired me.
Really?
Genuinely.
Okay.
And now I've got a French work jacket, which I absolutely love, which I've had for a couple of years, but already it's like, faded. But you're not so worried about it getting dirty or sort of, because it's part of a charm. It's something you're going to have for years and years.
Yeah, defo.
And I love that. And again, it goes with everything, really, doesn't it?
I remember Craig telling me that he picked that up on some Parisian like flea market, thinking that's cool. That's a piece of clothing with a story. So
Yeah, you think about the person who wore that. Yeah, the French little, peasant.
trailblazer.
Love it.
Trust me, it feels amazing. Strangers